Yo, what's the deal, world? Thank you for being up late with us as we prepare to give you one of the greatest podcast shows that you shall ever see. Here with the Misfits live, we got a lot going on. The Lakers just wrapped up, so of course, if you just watched the game, we're going to break down what we saw, and we got to talk about us being at the parade, having the time of our lives, and so much more going on in the sports world. And with voting and all of it. So, we got you covered here. Mykell, Mathieu, my guy, Elam. Elam, say what's up to the people, man.
Yo, what's up? What's up, world? You know who it is. It's your guy, Elam, and you are tuned in to the tightest tag team tandem this side of the galaxy. We are the Misfits, where we encourage you not to fit in, but find a way to stand out. Listen, huge news coming from the parade. We got that Laker talk, little Chargers, SC, UCLA, everything LA. We might even sprinkle in a little bit of politics, but you know who it is. It's your guy E Lamb. That's Mykell the PG. Let's get to it.
Hey, man. So we got to start off with this Laker game. We just saw a great one. The Lakers have won 5 straight games. They pick up a big win versus Portland without Luka and Austin Reeves. Tonight, they knock off that monster named Wemby, picking up this win tonight. The Lakers look like a problem. Like this was not the team that I expected to see from the Lakers, especially early on. And I'm not a guy who's saying, "Oh, LeBron was gonna come back and save them." I was just like, I don't know if they got it, but I got to give respect because I've been giving him a hard time. That man, JJ Redick, is coaching his ass off, doing a hell of a job. They running great offensive sets.
Wait, you telling me JJ can actually coach?
JJ can actually coach. Who would have known that
That's
JJ
crazy.
can actually do his thing as a coach, him and his staff, because they got the Lakers looking like one of the better teams in the NBA. Like it's lit in LA, of course, with the
Hold on.
Dodgers, but the Lakers are hooping, man.
Yo, so I got to ask you, do the Lakers look competent on offense and defense because of the pieces, or is it because a certain player is missing that everybody has been allowed to play to their strengths, more or less?
I think a lot of it is the pieces, man. Like, who knew this guy Laravia will be able to be the type of player that he's been with the Lakers so far? Who knew that DeAndre Ayton would actually play really good basketball? And I don't know if anybody said this out there in the sports world. Hopefully, I'm the first that the Lakers look like the Dallas Mavericks the year that Luka took them to the finals. They play a lot of similar basketball, just a lot of feistiness on the defense, offense where a bunch of guys that can make shots. You got your two bigs with Jackson Hayes and Ayton, and then you have Luka, who's playing Luka basketball. Then when Austin Reeves is healthy, he is that Kyrie Irving. So this is a team that the Lakers are building without LeBron that's similar to a team that made it to a final. So why not stick to it? And just shout out to Marcus Smart. What a hell of a pickup that guy is.
So
Great
it's crazy.
defense.
You said who would know, right?
Yeah.
There's a certain person, that is often castigated, reviled, vilified, more or less, not just here on this show, but throughout Laker Nation altogether. It's the GM, Rob
Mm-hmm.
Pelinka. You have to give him credit. You said who would know? Rob Pelinka did. This
Yeah.
team is starting to look exactly how he envisioned, right? You talked
Mm-hmm.
about DeAndre Ayton, who has been a perennial cast off, an afterthought. I want to say he was a first round pick or number one pick overall.
Yep.
Didn't live up to the hype. And now all of a sudden, DeAndre Ayton is looking like a force. Marcus
Mm-hmm.
Smart, we know what he's capable of doing. We saw him do his thing in Boston. Jake LaRavia, who is number 12? That's what people were asking in Minnesota. I was
Yeah.
at the game. I was at the game on Sunday. People were trolling like, "Hey man, who is number 12?" But Jake LaRavia has been a godsend. Austin Reeves, he's looking like all world. So,
Mm-hmm.
you know, I know we said this last week, but I think the Lakers are in a position to where LeBron James is expendable. Now, I'm not going to go so far and say that, hey, this is a championship team without LeBron. I do not think that. However, the style in which that they are playing, you can kind of see the vision and what life is going to look like post LeBron James. Personally, I like it. I know 90% of Laker Nation absolutely adores it. It's only that small 10% of the church of Bron that's gonna be like, hey, the Lakers need LeBron James.
Hey, what? Just like that famous video that went viral. Once again, I'm gonna use it. Lock him up. Keep that boy LeBron away from this team right now.
You gonna hit
They're
him with that
playing.
Akon, huh?
Hey, they're playing great basketball on both ends of the floor, and the energy just looks different. Like this looks like a group that enjoys playing with one another. They have bought in to what JJ Redick is coaching those guys and that staff, and it just looks like a fun group. Like watching them compared to watching the other LA team that we're going to talk about, it's like night and day
We
with
don't
the
even mention
energy
that JV team, man.
in the belief that they have. But I'm with you. I'm. It got me like, man, LeBron James. We've seen 23 years of LeBron James play basketball. We know what he's going to do. We know what he likes to do, and what he likes to do doesn't fit with what this team needs right now. This team needs another guy that can come in, that can do a lot of stuff off the ball, play great defense, and just give energy while Luka and Austin Reeves runs the show. Will LeBron be able to do that? Hell, will he be
No,
accepting to do
no,
that? Because we've
no.
never really seen him do that in his career.
Not only have we not been able to see him do that in his career, I don't think LeBron is capable of doing that. LeBron is not capable of being third fiddle. LeBron is not capable of playing. He's not a catch and shoot guy. He's not somebody that's going to cut, set screens, roll to the basket, to get those type of buckets. LeBron James can only play one way. He's done it his entire career. 1-4 out. He has to have the ball. The problem is you now have Luka Doncic, who plays the same way. You have
Mm-hmm.
Austin Reeves, who plays the same way. Personally, I think, and there's not a lot of these types of players in the league, but you need somebody like a prime Klay Thompson, somebody who can come off screens, catch and shoot. That's all
Yeah.
we need you to do and play defense on the other end. Now, personally, I've been saying this, go check the tape. I think right now, if you trade LeBron to like a Dallas, right, and get what you can for him, I think now is the time to trade when he has his highest value. Because
Yeah.
as the season progresses, Father Time is eventually going to catch up unless you,
Yeah.
are talking about vitamin H. But that's neither here nor there. I think it's
Mm-hmm.
time for the Lakers to move off of LeBron James. Not saying that it's going to benefit them now, but long term, I do think that that's the move to make. And I'm looking at Rob Pelinka. Now, personally, I think it's very ironic that the Lakers are starting to hit their stride and look the way that they're doing, and you see
Mm-hmm.
so much synergy amongst the team. I have a source who told me that within the organization, there are several people within the organization who are ready to get rid of LeBron James. That's a
Yeah.
lamb chop exclusive. It's
Okay.
not just you fans that see it. There are
Yeah.
people in the organization who see it. Now it's just a matter of whether or not Rob Pelinka pulls the trigger. But yes, I
Hey,
can
if
confirm.
if you can find a trade, you have to deeply think about it because we say it all the time. It's no time in LA. It's about
Not
Luca. It's
snow
about
time. It's lake snow, baby.
y'all. Hey, y'all let us know out there. Hit us up in the comments. Let us know what y'all like better, Lake Snow or Snow Time Lakers, led by Luca, Austin Reeves, and even
And Jake LaRavia.
Laravia. Who Laravia threw me off. I'm thinking he a foreigner. I talked to our fellow media member Dean from Germany. I'm like, hey, is that one of the European guys? He's like, no, I think he's American, and he was born in Pasadena, California. So shout out to Laravia, who's playing good ball. And they're playing great defense. And I think the addition of Marcus Smart has really helped so much because I don't know if you've been catching a trend in the NBA. It's a lot of full court press trying to speed teams up because a lot of teams want to play with a certain type of pace, like not too fast, not too slow. But like the new thing is they took it from the Indiana Pacers, how they were able to make their run. We're going to pressure you and make you do what we want you to do defensively, which teams should have been doing that. Like I've been waiting to see teams really play defense how they are in the NBA right now. And the Lakers are doing exactly that. That's why they're even able to get 5 minutes out of Bronny because he can come in and hound the ball a little bit. Yeah, he might only score 2 points, and people are still gonna rave about it. But it's the defensive end that these guys are so impressive on because you know that Luka and Austin Reeves are going to get buckets and create for others. Just be ready. But I just love the fact that they're playing great defense and the fact that the offense isn't stale. There's still player movement, ball movement, which we haven't really seen these last couple years, you know, when it's been a LeBron-led offense, or it was Luka and LeBron mostly last season. So let's see. It's been early. Let's see if they can keep it up. But hey, just to talk about tonight's game, what you like about what they were able to do against Wemby to kind of slow him down? Only 18 points. He fouled out. They did a hell of a job making it tough for him.
You know what? Wemby makes it a lot easier to defend him and the Spurs when he plays like he did today. Wemby was not able to get to the low block or the pinch post, mid post to really do any damage. Everything he did was from the elbow extended. That's how you want Wemby to play the game. He's 7'5", but when he plays like he's 5'7", hey, advantage, you know, defense. So I did like that. What I took from today's game, man, was resilience. The Lakers constantly, they go down by 12. They chip away, chip away, chip away. They go back down by 10, chip away, chip away, chip away. This is a resilient bunch, man. And you can see the chemistry, the synergy within the team, because I saw several times throughout the course of the game, you know, Luka would tell everybody, hey, man, come on. But it starts with me. I got to do better. I got to do better. And that's the type of leadership I think the Lakers have been missing, you know, for the past few years, is that the head of the snake, you know, wasn't holding themselves accountable. And when you have somebody like Luka who's hungry, who has a lot to prove, you know, LeBron James, shout out to Lojo, Lauren Jones. She asked at training camp last season, hey, LeBron, what else do you have to play for? LeBron James said, nothing. I've accomplished everything. And I was so mad at every journalist in the building. I wasn't there because I sure enough would have asked, then what are you playing for? You know
why do you still do this if you don't want to? And the last time we saw a synergy like this for this Laker team was, shall I say, 2020. That year, if you remember AD's first year, when it was like, yo, Rondo, McGee was there, Dwight, it was like this team has a chance to do it. And the guys just looked like they loved playing with each other. They bought into what Frank Vogel was pitching as a coach, and then led to a championship. Not saying that they're there, because that damn team in Oklahoma City, they are looking incredible. But just the way that this group and bunch is playing together, man, it's a great sight to see them playing some good basketball. But we got to talk about, I know what you call him, the little brother. We got to talk about the little brother,
JV
man.
Team.
The JV team. There we go, the JV team. Because the Los Angeles Clippers, they're dealing with some early injuries, and they lost their last 2 games, dealing with a lot of the issues that hurt them last season, which was turning over the basketball. They lose back-to-back home games. They fall to the Miami Heat 120-119, and they were just blown out on NBC against Shea and the Oklahoma
World
City
champion.
Thunder. And it just, the Clippers, I had a little hope for them coming in, but Bradley Beal just doesn't look like he is ever returned.
It's almost like Lambstradamus told you that the Clippers weren't going to, you know, be a serious contender. It's almost as if I told you Bradley Beal was not going to fit.
But
Listen to your boy.
some of the issue, as much love as friend of the show, our guy Ty Lue, we got love and respect for him. But I just feel that he's being a little stubborn right now. And because of he's such a player's coach, he want to look out for guys. And Bradley is a guy they brought over and was like, hey, we think you can be a big help to him. But I don't think that he should be starting. I really think Chris Dunn and John Collins should be in that starting
Bradley
lineup.
Beal is not that type of player, man. It takes a special personality. You know what I'm saying? Not saying that Bradley Beal is not a good guy.
Yeah.
It takes a special personality to go from a perennial scoring machine to coming off the bench. You have been a starter your entire life. You have been the guy your entire life. We saw what happened when he went to Phoenix last year. He's not able, I'm not saying he's not willing, he's not able to sacrifice the strength of his game to fit in to play winning basketball. Bradley Beal is about his numbers. Bradley Beal is about his bag. And guess what? I would be too if I was 6'5" and shot the ball the way that he did. I'd probably feel the same exact way. But when you're talking about trying to craft and forge a championship caliber team, personalities matter more than skill. All it takes is one. I hate to jump to baseball, but you can look at Manny Machado and Fernando Tatis down in San Diego. The Padres have a squad, but they are not going to win because they have terrible people in the clubhouse. They have terrible people in the locker room. And when you're trying to build championship culture, personalities mean more than anything.
And I just don't see why people are still chasing the game, the name game, right? You look at Sacramento with all of the names that they got over there: DeMar, Russ, Sabonis, Levine, and it's not really working out. Same thing with the Clippers. I think you have to really find guys that can play specific roles that can make things happen. I think these last few years, the Clippers have looked a lot at names. Brook Lopez, he's a name. He's been a great addition. It makes sense. It's been working. He's been doing well. But I just think that they should lean more towards their defense. They're the slowest paced team in the league, which is fine. You got these older players. They're one of the better half-court defenses in the NBA. It's just they turn the ball over, and sometimes they can look a little lost offensively. And some of it is, Zubac, teams are doing a much better job of making it tough on him offensively, throwing bodies his way. But that's why I think John Collins will be perfect to be next to him because he can stretch the floor and he can get the ball and do something with it and come dunk on your head. So I would like to see him there. Then with a Chris Dunn in the starting lineup, you can switch it off on teams and have Chris Dunn bring the ball up to make it easier for James Harden. So I know Coach Ty Lue has been preaching, hey, it usually takes 12 to 20 games for you to really figure it out and get your rotation right. But in the Western Conference that they have today in the NBA, you might not have that time where you're going to be fighting to be a play-in team. And Kawhi Leonard is already missing 2 straight games with an ankle injury. Tomorrow, there's going to be no James Harden because of personal reasons. Bradley Beal is going to be returning, but it's already looking murky. You got fans Elam, they're calling for Ty Lue's head. They
were calling for Ty Lue's head last year. Shout out to friend of the program, Mint. She was saying Ty Lue needed to get canned last year. I thought that was blasphemous, but it's so ironic to hear you started to bring up the built-in excuse of injuries when talking about the Clippers. When I told you that the Clippers were always going to struggle with injuries. Kawhi Leonard didn't get younger unless he just got some magical. I don't want to get sued. As long as he didn't get some magical cream to extend his career. James Harden didn't get any younger, right? He didn't go to Turkey or Germany
maybe Kawhi needs a little inspiration from aspiration. Maybe that's what's missing right now for
But
him.
see,
But
that's even another thing. You know what I'm saying? Like how was that weighing in on his psyche, right? How is that weighing on the team? Because the
yeah,
NBA hasn't made any type of ruling.
no, yeah,
So
they've been
it's
keeping
it's
that
just
quiet.
it's there's a lot of moving pieces behind the scenes that impact how the Clippers are playing. But I told you this was not going to work. It's not going to work. It's the
No,
Clippers.
yeah,
And this
and
is the craziest thing to me. This is the craziest thing to me. We were both at the game when they
mhm,
played on Friday, right?
yeah.
I'm looking around and I'm like, dog, it's a ton of empty seats.
Oh, it'd be sleepy in there.
I was like, this feel like the sports arena. And then I really looked. I was like, yo, the Intuit Dome literally is the LA Sports Arena with a whole bunch of tech. That's all it
Yeah,
is.
yeah, they gotta win. Like we talk about it all the time. If you tuning into the Misfits Live for the very first time, we say it all the time as journalists here in LA, fans of sports here in LA, that LA loves a winner. If you want people to show up, you better be winning. The Lakers, they're balling. You're gonna see more people talking about them and showing up even more to those games. Since the Clippers struggle, it's gonna be a struggle for people to show up to those games because they're just not winning to the level that they need to be. And they have to figure it out because they don't want to get too deep into the hole. And somebody said in the chat, hey, what do you think when you have 32, 35, 37, nearly 40-year-old players? The unction ain't the function that people want it to be right now. And the Clippers going to have to
I'm gonna
figure it
tell you
out
what
or
the
they're
tell
going to
you
be in
what the
trouble.
unks need. I'm gonna tell you what the unks need. If
They
I'm
need some
Ty
youth.
Lue, no, it's not even that. Because I
Okay.
think if Ty Lue does this, it can help them slow the pace down all the way.
They, they already
We going.
are.
No, I'm talking about even more. Start
Okay.
incorporating elements of the triangle
Mm.
into the offense and see what that does. Because with a player like Kawhi, with a player like James Harden, you got Big Zoo. You have enough ancillary pieces to where if you play old school basketball, run sets, I understand pace and space, but
Mm-hmm.
this does not bode well for the Clippers. The Clippers have to do something different. And if you look at Cleveland, Cleveland
Yeah.
has a distinct style of play. If you look at New York, they have a distinct
Yeah.
style of play. I think if the Clippers incorporated elements of the triangle, it would
I got
inject
an
a
idea.
ton into
I
the
got a
into
I got an idea that popped in my head.
okay.
One Laker team is like, hey, we got a guy we don't really probably need around, right? That maybe wants to stay in LA, wants to live in LA and have all the perks. And another team needs another piece that maybe can help elevate them with some guys. What if you do a LA swap? You trade maybe LeBron James for John Collins, Bogdan Bogdanovich, another piece in a first round pick, and you send LeBron James and Bronny to the Los Angeles Clippers, and you have Kawhi, James, LeBron, Zubac, Brooke Lopez, and those guys, and you say, hey, maybe the super unction is what can put you over the top. I don't think it will happen because I don't know if the Lakers will ever do that, but it can be a win-win scenario for both sides to me because you get
If I if
draft
I'm Rob
capital.
Palinka, if I'm Rob Palinka, I will pull the trigger on that, but I don't think the salaries would match. I think the Clippers would
Mm.
have to give up too many pieces in order for the salaries to match, and
Three.
they're not going to do that.
Give up three. You give up Collins, you give up Bogdanovich
They're
and
not,
another guy. No?
and that does not help the Clippers. You lose a athletic big and a and a
Bogdanovich
and a
don't even play.
yeah. How much is his salary?
I don't know. I will have to look more into
Exactly.
the details,
It,
but
it's
it's just
gotta be it's gotta be within, I want to say, two
it'll
hundred
be a
thousand
three-team
of one of them.
trade. People on the chat is hating on it, talking about LeBron does not need to be a Clipper. Send him back to the Midwest. But I'm just like, hey, he don't want to leave. Clearly, he wants to be in LA. Maybe you need to go
But
down
LA don't
Inglewood.
want to. Hey, the Clippers would be
The
such
Clippers will
an
go.
appropriate it would be such an appropriate response to how this city feels about LeBron. LeBron as a Clipper would be so apropos. That would be poetic justice because
Hey,
I'm gonna tell you, as a native Angelino, watch
yeah.
stand up. LA does not rock with LeBron James.
But maybe the Clippers, they like, we need to sell tickets. Maybe if we can offer a LeBron James last year or two of the NBA is going to be with not with the Lakers, but with the Clippers come out. Maybe that can help them fill those seats up so it don't look so sports arena like. But hey, Clippers got to figure some things out. They got to get themselves right. But Elam, we had us a lot of fun this Monday. We were with some champs of LA, the Los Angeles Dodgers. Last time we were here, what were we talking about? Were we like, hey, they got to try to find a way to win this series, or it's going to be an upset? Wait, I'm trying to think. The last episode, where were they at? Were they at game? Well, were we
Game
waiting for
5.
game 6?
We had just lost game 5.
Yeah, just lost game
Just lost game
5, and it
5.
was just like get it to 7. Anything can happen, and anything did happen, man. Mykell Rojas, big home run, making plays to help the team win. Somebody said Eric finally gave a bad take. What was your? Oh, you said what was your bad take?
Man, look, I said it was going 6-6. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
That's the
right.
crazy thing. After game 5, the Dodgers were swinging for the fences every time they swung the bat.
Offense
Your
was
Savage was popping these dudes up, striking everybody out. I was like, dog, we are about to lose. Game 6, improbability. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like errors on the base path. Kike Hernandez catches a line drive, throws the ball to second base, ends the game right there.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh snap, we got action. Game 7. Listen, every Dodger fan that I know for 8 1/3 inning thought that we were getting ready to lose.
Hey.
I, of all people, was like, this game is over. Miggy Rojas was up to bat. I was like, he's getting ready to get out. I had tweeted out, Shohei Ohtani will be the last out of the World Series. And Miggy Ohtani said, not so fast.
Because I had my laughs and giggles and all that ready, but I was rooting for. I already told you I came in rooting for the Dodgers, because me and Toronto folks have been beefing since last year with the Drake and Kendrick thing. So they've been on my head about the whole series. So I'm like, now I really hope the Dodgers beat y'all. And I was at Yard House watching the game, and that thing was quiet for most of that game. People was up there, like people was so shook and upset that it looked like the Dodgers were going to lose. And I was like, maybe me being at Yard House is bad luck. I need to watch it somewhere else. And I left, and they slowly started making a run. And once I was able to watch the 8th, 9th, and the end of the game, it was like, wow, like what a way to win the way that they did. The heart of champions, and we were able to be at the parade, and the energy was even greater than the parade the year before. We were able to get a lot of dope content. So make sure y'all go to our socials, The Misfits Live, THAMISFITSLIVE, Instagram. Go look at all of our great content. Go to the YouTube page if you're checking us out on X. All of the great content there. We got a lot of fire, and we were able to talk to one of the heroes who looked very Randy Moss like with my guy Elam and Andy Paez. So I think we got that for you. Little preview. You guys check it out.
So last question. So you see the ball come off the bat. You're running towards Kike Hernandez. What's going through your mind?
Right when Clement hit it, I look Kike and he's running back, and now double check he's got or not. Just on my mind, I think, hey, you want to catch it. You want to catch it no matter what. And when I catch it, I think, hey, we are this inning. That's what I have in my mind in that moment.
What did you say to Kike after he fell?
I asked him, you good? And he said, don't worry about me. You catch the ball, and I say yes. Okay, let's go. We win it.
Congratulations, champ. Appreciate you. Yep.
Yeah, man. So just really dope moment there. That was one of the big plays of the game because I remember watching that. And I'm like, no, Kike is about to try to Willie Mazes. It's gonna be so difficult. And out of nowhere, 44 jumps up and catches that thing. And it was like, wow. Talk about that moment and just being able to talk to Andy there on Monday at the parade.
You know what? It's so crazy, man, because there were at least 5 different moments from the 9th inning alone where I was like, I am getting ready to have a brain aneurysm. I want to say Vlad was on second base when Pages catches that ball. If that ball hits the ground, the game is over. And so I didn't even see Pages enter the screen. I'm sitting up here watching Miggy Rowe, like he's tracking the ball. And I see Andy jump and just like moss him, boom, on top of his head. I was like, oh, snap. And then I was like, did he catch it? Did he catch it? And to see him like, hey, I got the ball. Kike hops up. He's like, man, I'm good. I'm like, cool. We live to see, another out. But that Will Smith, like toe tap from Miggy Rowe. Oh my God. But there were so many things that had to happen perfectly, right? In order for us to win. And everything happened the way that
and
it
think
did.
about it. This whole season, I've been saying, hey, this team reminds me a lot of the 2001 Lakers on many platforms. You heard me talk about it. You heard our other journalists hear me, and then they use it themselves.
Biting our style.
Man, biting our style. That's how we mean business out here because people when they want to bite your style, you doing something right, baby. But I just saw a team that just made a lot of moments. Like you remember those Laker teams doing the 3 runs of the championship. It was a lot of moments that you remember them having. The lob from Kobe to Shaq. You remember, Ori making the big time shot. You remember the big games by Shaq. You remember Kobe with his big moments playing against, the Kings and the game winners he had against Phoenix and things like that. Well, against Jay Kidd and those guys. It was the moments that really stuck with you that had you here in LA. Like, man, I feel like I'm a part of this because it's so real. These big moments, I'm with them through the ups and downs of it. It's the same thing that you're getting with this Dodger team. And that's why I think it's so many people who aren't even Dodger fans or even fans of baseball in LA that have attached themselves to this team because of the greatness, of course, but just how they're doing it and fight through. And especially, I think this series was one of the greatest baseball series that we've seen in the history of the MLB. And that even created more fans of this team because everybody was talking about it.
Hey, man, I got a real hot take for you.
Let me hear it.
Baseball has officially supplanted basketball as the number 2 sport in America, bro. It's official. It is official. Baseball. Now, I don't know if baseball will ever get to the pinnacle to where it was, America's pastime where everybody stopped to watch a baseball game. But I'm not just saying this because I'm a Dodger fan. The Dodgers are great for the game because when you look at the evil empire that existed, out in New York, nobody was saying that they were terrible for the game when they were peeling off, 7. I think they had won 7 championships in like 12 years, right? Mm-hmm. Nobody was saying that. But even if you hate watch, even if you're just watching baseball because you want to see the Dodgers lose, you are watching. You are watching. And it's so crazy to me because when we were leaving, who did we see? When we were getting ready to hop on the elevator, who did we see?
When Big
Andrew
Boy?
Freeman.
Oh yeah, Freeman. Yeah,
Andrew Freeman. Yeah. And he was already at work.
Already working.
He already working the phones. And I said it jokingly. I said it jokingly, like, Andrew, you already working. He's like, man, it never stops. And I'm like, as a fan, I'm like, yo, because you can see opportunities for this team to get better. The Dodgers had one of the absolute worst batting averages in World Series history. I want to say it's like number 6 all time. And won. The Dodgers had a terrible bullpen and won. I called this back in June. I said the Dodgers bullpen was going to be the reason why they won. The Dodgers don't win game, what was that, 4? That 18 game 3. The Dodgers don't win the series without the bullpen.
That game.
Clayton Kershaw, who, you know what I'm saying?
Shout Yamamoto, though. Yamamoto is golden.
We didn't even get to Yoshi yet.
Yeah.
But Clayton Kershaw has been reviled in Dodger playoff lore because far too often we would see him choke. But for him to come in and get an out when we had to have it, it was bases loaded. He full count. He had to get the out. He gets it. We win. You know what I'm saying? We ultimately win that game. Will Klein, who never has to buy another meal while he lives in Los Angeles ever again. That dude is forever ingratiated to Dodger fans. Anytime he out in the city, somebody gonna take care of his tab. But like, man, there were so many moving pieces, so many small plays, so many players, man, that contributed to this run. I'm super excited to have been able to cover this team up close, but even more so, bro, we get to go for a 3-peat.
Yeah, which is fine. And I tell people all the time, I'm like, dynasties help sell. Like with the NFL, of course, I know a lot of people out there don't like my Kansas City Chiefs, but you either like to love them or you like to hate them, and people like to watch that. People hate watch more than actually to root. And I think for the Dodgers in baseball, the reason why it's so great right now, they're in LA, the number 2 market in the country, right? You just played a long playoff run last season, and you end up facing New York, the Yankees, which is a big draw. And then now you come to this World Series, which, like I said, may be the greatest ever, and you face against a whole country when you play against Toronto. So it's the right teams. And I think that's what's kind of hurt the NBA, because you had Denver, Milwaukee win, Oklahoma City. The major market teams haven't really won and been at the top, so you losing on that. That's why everybody are like, hey, can the Knicks finally do it with so many injuries? Because we want to see New York in the finals. As much as people talk about these small markets, and of course I love my Halos, but if you would have had an Angels versus the Brewers World Series, it wouldn't have hit the same.
Nobody's watching.
It doesn't hit the same as seeing Dodgers versus an entire country that LA just had issue with the year before with the whole Kendrick and Drake thing. So,
and I think that's the cherry on top for me.
Yeah,
that's the cherry on top. To know that there was this animus, this tension, this beef between the bozos up north in LA. It's LA versus everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like we spilled your maple syrup and put it all over your Canadian bacon, man. You know what I'm saying? Turn your TV off, bro.
Turn the TV off.
I absolutely love that element. I think there was and we talked about this at the parade. There was a missed cultural moment that I don't think we'll be able to reclaim. If Kendrick Lamar would have came out with Ice Cube, both of them get out with a trophy, like, dog, that would have we're not even supposed to cheer, but I would have went bananas, bro.
I would have had to. It would have blew the top off of an already open stadium if that moment would have happened. But it was cool just to get DJ Mustard, him at the parade doing his thing. Him getting that moment was dope. And not like us. I know a lot of people, especially those Drake stands out there, really hate that song. That song has become almost like a "We Are the Champions" type song, because not like us, that quote alone can fit in so many forms. You can do sports, politics, you can, of course, the clubs and the music scene, like, and for the team to walk out to that, for Anthony Anderson to say, hey, last year y'all was not like us, this year y'all still not like us. it just showed how historic that song is, and it was perfect for this moment for this Dodger team. You got Otani speaking English. You got Yoshi coming out with the Buenos tardes.
Buenos
To
tardes.
to the Hispanic fans in the crowd. Like, it was just a hell of an event to be there. And that's when it's really fun to do what we do as journalists, when you can be there, celebrate a team of your city. Like, if you watch the show, you know I'm not a Dodger fan, but it just felt like a celebration of LA
You a
streets.
closet Dodger fan. Because you were super giddy last year. You were super giddy last year.
It's just, hey, it's LA just to see my city. Bro, we come from the inner city. We know the dark days that it can have.
If the Angels win, I'm not celebrating that. If the Clippers win, I'm not celebrating that.
You don't got to. I'm going to be out there on that Halo field going crazy. But, hey, something I want to talk about before we move forward, because it's Clayton Kershaw's. It was his last hurrah. He had his last presser there on the field at the celebration there for the championship. And it got us talking about LA sports Mount Rushmore. And we were on the field talking about it. You, friend of the show, our guy Anwar Stetson, that was there. I took that conversation to the Clipper game last night and was talking to another friend of the show, Nick Hamilton, Grant Mona, and others, and was like, yo, with Kershaw playing 18 years with the Dodgers, 3-time champion, all of the individual accolades, is he a part of that top 4, that Mount Rushmore LA sports? I got different answers, but I want to hear your thoughts on it, because I know we talked about it there at Dodger Stadium.
You know what? If I had to give you a Mount Rushmore, I think there are 2 names that we'll both agree on that's automatic. That's Magic Johnson and Kobe Bryant.
Yes.
You cannot begin to talk about Los Angeles sports without mentioning one of those 2. They won. They played their entire career here. They represent the city. They've ingratiated themselves to the city.
Mm-hmm.
That third person for me has to be Clayton Kershaw. Kershaw, 18 years as a Dodger, Mr. Cy Young, greatest regular season pitcher since Sandy Koufax, 3-time champion, future first ballot Hall of Famer. That 4th one, you already know my answer. It's Oscar De La Hoya.
Okay.
Oscar did the same thing. He's from the city, was a champion. He went, competed in the Olympics, brought home the gold. I think he embodies what it is to be an Angelino. When you're talking about Mount Rushmore, there's so much nuance in this conversation that if you pick a Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, I can't say that you're wrong. He played at UCLA. You know, he got drafted by the Bucks, ultimately came back to Los Angeles. You know, was a bedrock during the Showtime Lakers. So I can't get mad at that, right?
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of who else you can say. You can say Wayne Gretzky, right? He's got a statue out there. But for me, when I think about all that Los Angeles is, Los Angeles at its core, at its soul, is a blue collar city. Do not get caught up in the glitz, glamour, and hype. That's all smoke and mirrors. You come to Los Angeles, you know, on some shine time, you gonna leave with your pockets flattened because there's some sharks out here. LA is a blue collar city. There are more people who have to get up at the crack of dawn, who work 10, 12-hour day shifts to keep their families housed and fed. And another thing that I wanted to say, you know, about the Dodger parade, that moment in time, that moment in time is one of very few things where people from all walks of life, sports, music, and food are the 3 only things that I could think of that unite people across cultures, religions, socioeconomic status, political affiliation, sexual orientation, blah, 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 blah. And we saw that on Monday. And so those 4 people, Magic, Kobe, Clayton Kershaw, and Oscar De La Hoya, to me, I think best represent and characterize the city.
So shout out to the chat. It's going up. Of course, I've been saying it all season long. I like this part. You're gonna like this one. The Angels may not be the king of baseball. Dodgers can take that, but they the king of LA. They swept the Dodgers. They swept the champs. So shout out to the chat.
I told you you can hang. I told you
Yeah, we
this
gonna share that
at
king
the
of LA
end.
banner.
I said you guys will be able to say we swept the world champions.
Yeah,
So go on and hang that banner.
I like
go
that.
on and hang that banner.
Somebody said OJ, of course, you know, that's very controversial. We know what happened with that, but he's a name you have to mention. So being at the Intuit Dome, people were like, I heard names like maybe you, let's see if you agree. It was like Kopitar.
Andre Kopitar. Okay.
Yeah, they were like Kopitar is a name that,
but I don't think he was big enough on the
cultural
on a city stage.
That's what I would say. Yeah, that was my fight back. Was like, I don't think that, because yes, the Kings are great in LA, but they're not the Dodgers. Lakers are USC, so it doesn't carry as much weight because there's a lot of people that don't watch. I'm gonna be honest, I'm not really watching the Kings to tell you who Kopitar truly is. I know who Gretzky is. I know who
Dustin Brown is. Jonathan Quick.
Brown. I know Jonathan Quick, guys like that, but I can't go too deep into that bag. But he was somebody that was mentioned. Reggie Bush was another name that was thrown out there because of his greatness run at USC. But I'm like, for me, that's just too short-lived. If he would have got drafted to an LA team and then played 10 years more, and it would have been like, you know, damn near like Marcus Allen, who played for USC, Heisman winner, and then went to the Raiders and won as a LA Raider. You know, he's a guy that can be almost thrown in there. But I like Clayton Kershaw being there because he played 18 years, helping bring back relevance to the Dodgers, finishing up with 3 titles and doing it all with the Dodgers. And then, like you said, Oscar De La Hoya, he was one of the faces of boxing representing Los Angeles and doing his thing. And of course, Reggie Bush, OJ, Marcus Allen, Kopitar, Wayne Gretzky. These are names you're going to mention, Kareem. But I just think that the impact on the city, not just their sports that they played, is why people will lean toward that. But it's a question we might have to go out in the streets, or you can always let us know in the comments what you guys think. Who are on your Mount Rushmore when it comes?
You didn't give yours.
To LA. Oh, mine, it's gonna be Kobe Magic. We got that. I'm gonna go Clayton Kershaw. I just think you're playing. He came as a baby to the Dodgers and played all these years, and his individual dominance to go with winning championships with the Dodgers. You have to have him there with that group. So I like him there. And then for me, I'm gonna go with, you know, this is just the fandom that I have. I like Marcus Allen, the way that he was able to be great at USC and then to be a great Los Angeles Raider, winning a Super Bowl MVP with them. I think that you can put him on there because when you think of LA sports, you cannot not talk about Marcus Allen. So that would be my 4. To then Reggie Bush would probably be number 5 just because how big. And then it might be somebody on a Luka might be the next one.
Tripping. Number 5, and I can't believe you didn't say this name. It's got to be Juju Watkins.
Ooh.
It's got to be Juju Watkins. Now, if the WNBA is smart, if the WNBA is smart, you do whatever it is you got to do to put Juju Watkins in a Sparks.
You know who might be number 4? It might be Lisa Leslie. Morningside, great.
Eaglewood, okay.
Yeah, Morningside High School, great. You got USC, great. And then a Spark, you know, the first woman to dunk in the W.
But she really wasn't on the scene. She wasn't in the limelight. If Lisa Leslie was more like Rickea Jackson or Cam Brink, where it was like, you know, she's out there.
Yeah. Oh, I'm tripping. We both tripping. What am I even talking about, Elam? Let me re-switch my list before we move on.
What you gonna say? Cheryl Miller?
Kobe, Magic, Clayton Kershaw, and do I put them together or do them individually? But Serena Williams. What are we talking about? Serena Williams.
Okay.
Venus Williams, you know, the Williams sisters.
Okay.
You know, but if I had to choose one, it'd be Serena Williams because Compton tennis legend. Like,
I can't get mad at that.
Yeah,
She
so
brought the
that will
sea.
be
She brought the sea walk to Wimbledon.
yeah, Seawalk to
I can't.
Wimbledon, brought it
Okay.
to the Super Bowl. So that would be my four: Kobe,
Okay.
Magic, Clayton Kershaw, Serena
Salute.
Williams.
Salute.
That's
I like that one. I
my
like that
Mount
one.
Rushmore for Los Angeles sports. But remember, let us know. We're gonna have to hit the streets one of these days. We both gonna be at SC Friday. Maybe we can talk to the fans and see who's the Mount Rushmore of LA sports. But LA is just all about greatness, baby. So we love it. Let's quickly run through this. We got to talk some football. We're going to be with the Trojans, of course, tomorrow. They're going to be playing against Nebraska. Let's see. They're going to be playing against Northwestern. Let's
Northwestern.
see if they can if they can keep it going as they try to make a push to the playoffs. UCLA trying to bounce back after getting destroyed by Indiana. So let's see what happened there. You got anything to say on USC?
They escaped. They dodged a bullet. You know, their CFP hopes are still alive. Huge. These. I think next week is a trap game. Iowa comes here. That defense is real. So
Yeah.
if they don't jump out on Iowa early, Iowa can win that game. Do I think they will? Yes. But I think it's all going to boil down to that Oregon game. They have to, like, USC has to win out. If USC loses 2 out of the next 4, Lincoln Riley's getting fired.
Yeah, but hey, if they somehow can beat Northwestern and beat Iowa and then somehow pull off the upset against Oregon, it's going to be a different type of conversation about Lincoln Riley and that group. But they got to take it a game at a time. You're able to escape the Cornhuskers, do your job versus Northwestern, and then we can continue this conversation. They did some better things defensively to see if they can keep it up. But, it's the Trojans. Sometimes bad things happen when we expect the most under this Lincoln Riley era and regime. So more great college football. Shout out to Arch Manning. Like, I know I jumped off the bandwagon, so did a lot of other people. That man is picking it up, just played his best game of his career. He has Texas humming, climbing back towards the top of the rankings. And if they can finish strong, you're going to continue to hear more and more of that Arch
What are all the
Manning.
kids saying? Whoop-de-doo. Arch
No,
Manning is
hey,
cool cheese, man. I'm not worried about Arch Manning. He'll choke. I think he's overhyped, overrated. It is what it is.
4-game winning streak in Texas. I'm
Arch
not back
Manning
on the
is overrated.
bandwagon. I'm
He's
not back on the
overrated.
bandwagon, but I might be at the bus stop, like looking like SpongeBob later
Hey,
at night.
well, you know what? If you on the bus stop, this the Montgomery bus boycott over here.
But hey, Arch Manning, keep doing your thing. That man is playing great. But it's going to be a lot of great college football. I can't wait. Let's take you to the NFL really quick. The Rams blowout, destroy the Saints. The question that people are asking, are they the best team in the NFL and the NFC? And is
Mykell.
Matthew Stafford the favorite right now to be MVP? What's your thoughts?
Are y'all just catching up with me? Because before any games were played, I said the Rams were going to be in the Super Bowl. I said, watch Matthew Stafford. This team is going to go as far as Matthew Stafford's health would allow them to. Matthew Stafford definitely should be in consideration for the MVP, along with Christian McCaffrey, along with Jonathan Taylor. Drake May. Listen, Matthew Stafford is leading the league in passing. The dude is just turning back the clock. When you have Puka Nacua, Devontae Adams, it makes life easy. And the scary thing about it is that Kyron Williams really hasn't gotten going yet. Neither he nor Blake Corum. So the Rams definitely should be in consideration for the team to represent the NFC. Huge test on Sunday. Huge test on Sunday.
Yeah,
but
huge.
Yeah. You gotta include the Rams when you're talking about one of the premier teams in the league this season.
No, yeah, and the last couple seasons they were almost in the NFC Championship last year. When you have Sean McVay, you got Stafford, you got the weapons they have offensively. You didn't even mention how great the defense has been looking. That Was it Landman making plays? Our favorite African brother.
Hey, you
You
know
know
what I start calling them? You know what I
what you
start
call him?
calling them? The Horn of Africa.
The Horn of Africa. Okay,
Yeah,
I like
the
that. We
Horn
got
of
to ask
Africa.
him what he like about that. But that's our African brother there. He's doing his thing. Of course, Jared Verse, Braden Fisk in that group, Kobe there. Like they got the hell of a squad. They're gonna have a great opportunity. Of course, it's about health. Puka comes back, has a dominant game, but he's dealing with an injury from that game. But I'm hearing that
Bruce
he may
Reds.
he may be all right with that. So we'll see. But
Speaking of health, the Chargers, they lose Joe Alt
ooh,
for the
yeah,
year, ankle
for the
injury.
year, yeah.
What's gonna come about with the Chargers, man?
Man, I think that these injuries is going to be the downfall of the Chargers. I tell you all the time, as great as even like Mahomes is, you got to protect your quarterback. And not having your two tackles with Sean Slaters and now Joe Alt, it's going to put them in a tough spot. And even though they won this last game, he was getting smacked up. Justin Herbert was getting hit so much against the Titans that it made the game a little tougher than what it should have been. Now you're going to have to face off some better teams down the stretch with their schedule. It's going to be really hard for them to be as good as they could have been with those guys healthy. And we already know about the running back room that's already been hurt and dealing with a lot of injuries. So it's going to be tough. They still make the playoffs because they're well coached. The defense is solid. They have some weapons on the outside with Quentin Johnson, Keenan Allen, Lad McConkey. The Gatson, the rookie tight end, is a baller. But I just think that Super Bowl potential that they possibly could have had if everything was right, it's going to be tough. And shout out to the chat. Somebody said, is Jim Harb over because of these injuries? And I'm with you. I think that their chances of really making noise in the AFC playoffs is pretty much dead due to these injuries to their tackles and to the running backs and things like that. But let's see. That's a coach that's going to have his guys fighting and ready to go, and he's going to try to get that team right, man. But excited for this week. It's going to be some great football.
I gotta
I'm
amend my
happy.
prediction.
Let me
So
hear.
everybody knows I predicted at the beginning of the season that the Chiefs would not make the playoffs.
Okay.
Now that the Chargers have lost both Joe Alt and Rashawn Slater, I do not see them making the playoffs as the wild card
Oh,
team.
I
Right?
still
I
think
don't
they
see them
make it.
making it. No, I don't think the Chargers are going to make the playoffs.
Mm.
So I think the Chiefs are now going to make it as a wild card team. But I still stand on 10 when I said the Denver Broncos winning the AFC West. But I got to put football aside. I got to send a special shout out and prayer up to my little bro, Dayon Henley.
Yep.
His
Shout
brother
out,
was
man.
unfortunately gunned down here in the city over the weekend. So I know his heart is heavy and it's hurting. Just want to say, Dayon, man, praying for you, bro.
Yeah, praying for that family. Dealing with any type of loss, especially in that way, is really tough. So prayers out to him. Just want to chime in on some stuff. It looks like Ja Morant, man. That dude. Oh, this is why I want to go. NFL trade deadline. Very NBA like a lot of moves that was made for the trade deadline. You got Sauce Gardner going to the Colts. You got Quentin Williams going to the Cowboys. You got Jalen Phillips to the Eagles, Logan Wilson to
Michael
the
Carter.
Cowboys.
Mhm.
Yeah, it was just a lot of moves. Like, what's your thoughts on seeing all of those moves being made?
Hey, two teams that won the trade deadline, bro, I think are going to end up in contention for the Super Bowl. The Eagles
Okay.
and the Colts. The
Okay.
Colts landing Sauce Gardner is about
Yeah,
to
that's
do
nice.
numbers over
That's
in
nice.
Indy. And the Eagles land Jalen Phillips and Michael Carter. Look,
Yeah.
that secondary was looking poo cheese, and they were in desperate need of a pass rusher. So for them to land both, even though it's a 1-year rental, Philly's gonna be. It's gonna be Philly, LA. Like that's gonna be the NFC Championship
Philly,
right there.
yeah, Philly, LA. Don't sleep on yo. I see what you trying to do. My boy Elam Slick.
Nah, it's
He,
no,
he's
it's
trying to not
listen.
talk about his
Look,
squad.
I didn't
So they can
even
sneak
bring
up.
up anybody else. I'm being objective right now. I'm not speaking as a fan.
But
It's
hey,
gonna be Philly, LA.
Niners, Philly, LA, still Green Bay are going to Detroit. Can't forget Detroit. Those are the
Nah,
5
I don't
teams
like
that's
Detroit.
going.
Detroit
That you don't like Detroit?
looking
I
blue
think
cheese.
Detroit can find a way. But
Them losing Ben Johnson is like the cracks, the chinks in the armor are really starting to show themselves.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't like Detroit.
Okay, so it's gonna be a lot of great football, a lot of things going on. I have to shout out the trade deadline because you don't really see that, but you know they went crazy with that. We got them in the comments. He'll speak as a fan. The Niners aren't making the bowl. Damn! Shout out to Ethan.
That
The
Ethan. Oh, is that my boy Galbraith? Ethan knows
Galbraith.
ball.
Shout out
Yeah.
Galbraith. He said no, it's not going to happen. But yeah, make sure you guys let us know. Football talk. We are here for it. Make sure you tap in. Let us know what you want us to talk about and go back and forth with us.
This is your
in
show.
the comments.
This is your show.
We are for the
just
people.
Facilitate.
We are for the people.
Facilitate. It's your
Hey,
show.
before we move on to politics, one last sports topic I want to bring up because we are, you know, the new faces of this LA media thing, especially on the sports side. The Cali JUCO, Compton College. You heard about that story?
Nah.
So Compton College, they had a couple of old folks on the squad. First of all, you had 45-year-old former Compton mayoral candidate as a receiver, Lamar Willis. He was playing with his son there. And then you had a 50-year-old DN linebacker, Orson Villalobos. The team wasn't good, of course, but, you know, they were 0-10 and they forfeited their last 2 games. The scoring margin was 480 to 12. But, man, you got these old dudes because of the eligibility rules in JUCO sports now are trying to get some run. Dude, we talking about Bronny and LeBron. This man played football with his son.
You know what's crazy is when I got out the Army and went to Southwest, it was a dude that was in his 40s. Like on the team, and I was just like, yo, bro, like you legit old. Like, and this is when I'm like 25, 26. So, you know, fast forward 20 years, I'm like, that ain't really old. But hey, man, if that's your last shot at glory, man, you want to be able to say that you did it your way. What I get out there at 50 years old, by no means am I, and I ain't even close to 50, but
at 40, if you ever saw Waterboy, if you remember when they tried to throw the towel boy out there for Iowa, go to that scene. That's me out there. They're going to destroy me. So I'm not going to do it. But hey, those are some fellow misfits who at 40 plus or like, hey, I'm going to play some.
That's the definition
football.
of a misfit right there.
Hey, definition. So I had to give a shout out to that because that's such a unique story. I wish I would have known earlier. We would have had to go
we would have had to go out there.
Yeah, go out there to cover a game. So maybe I might reach out to them and see if we can chop it up with them. I think that'd be pretty dope to see what is it about. It's a lot of stuff we weren't able to get to today because, you know, we're so deep into the LA sports talk, but be back with us next week. We got more for you when it comes to the sports world. But before we go, I know my guy, Political E, got some things to talk about. We had some voting going on across the country. It might have been some wins for a certain side. New York, you know, city got a new mayor. It's some things going on. So Political E, take it away, man.
Yo, so shout out to Big Z Mamdani, who has won the mayoral race out in New York City. Now, why is that important? Because he's a Democratic socialist, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's a Democratic socialist. You might not remember Bernie Sanders and the synergy that he had, but a lot of his ideals, like taxing the top 1% to fund everything, that's what his plan is. And it's crazy because all the billionaires, all the millionaires, the hedge fund managers in New York City, did any and everything possible to try to prevent his election. Didn't work. Power to the people. If this doesn't show you that you have agency, that you have voice, I don't know what else you need to see. But I gotta give a shout out to the new mayor, the mayor-elect Zoran Mamdani. Ran a beautiful campaign. I am eager to see what comes about and how this has residual impacts that reverberate through the city, the state of New York, but ultimately how that impacts what happens here in America. Here in California, Prop 50 passed. Prop 50 was a huge measure on the ballot, or prop on the ballot, to allow California to gerrymander the state. What is gerrymandering? Gerrymandering is literally redistricting lines along political redistricting seats along political lines. California did this to combat what was going on in Texas. I think this is a very slippery slope. I can see the short-term value to try to combat authoritarianism of the current administration. However, now you open the door and the floodgates for Louisiana, Kentucky, Tennessee to literally ensure that the entire state is nothing but red. So I think it's a very short-sighted win that is ultimately going to lead to some long-term losses. That's just my own, personal opinion. Maine, or let me take a step back. Virginia elects its first female governor. Shout out to her. I forgot her name. That was huge. In Maine, showed out. Democrats took some seats. Now, how this impacts what happens in Washington, D.C., ladies and gentlemen, those Epstein files are going to be released. Guarantee it. You heard it here first.
Hey,
Go on, Kels.
It was a long day for the Trumpers. You know what I'm saying? They had a long day. So let's see what's gonna happen. But my guy Political E, he got you tapped in. We're gonna have to get you a seat somewhere in California. We're gonna have to run for some, E. We're gonna have to get you into office for something.
Man,
for that.
I'm 5-star E, man. I don't even have a shot.
I
don't even have a shot. I don't have a shot.
You might be in trouble, but yeah. So make sure I'm telling you, this is the show you don't want to miss. We got everything covered: entertainment, culture. We're gonna start talking about more foods and stuff like that we like out here, especially in the city. We got politics, of course. Man, it's just an all-purpose show. So we shout out to everybody that hit us up in the chat. Shout out to everybody that's been showing love to the social media pages, to the YouTube page. Continue to do it. Tell your folks, like, subscribe. I'm telling you, this is a move.
Hey,
we
are coming.
Hey, we got a highlight reel, bro. How many people got highlight reels?
Hey, how many journalists do you know that got a highlight reel? Shout out to my guy Anwar. But listen, we're coming. We are gunning. I have been on 2 different coasts in the past 2 weeks and have had several instances of people coming up to me saying, "Hey, are you E Lamb? You on the Misfits?" God is my witness. There's no cap in my rap. Listen, this is your show. And as we grow, we got so much for you. We gonna give you tickets to games. You might get some Super Bowl tickets one year. We definitely gonna have merch on deck. Listen, this is the show. Tell your mom, your dad, hey, you need to like, subscribe. Go on right now, hit that follow button. Because the Misfits are here. And guess what? If you are tuned into the Misfits, you're a misfit.
You're a misfit, baby. Hey, if you're gonna be at the Coliseum on Friday, come look for us. We will be there covering the game.
I don't know if I'm there tomorrow.
On Friday?
I got UCLA on Saturday.
No, he put you in Friday? Come on, we gonna figure it out. We're gonna figure it out.
All right.
But at least come holler at me Friday. Then if you go
and holler at me on Saturday,
go tap in with my guy Elam. But it's gonna be a good time. It's gonna be vibes. Take pictures, videos, whatever you need. Come debate with us live. If you come into the Clipper games, I'm at the Intuit Dome. Meet me all the way at the top, level 7. I'm doing shooting contests with the people right now on 1-1. Some guy got me, man. I didn't know the rules of it. He knew it better. He got me. But when it comes to the passing game,
You already taking L's? You letting
man,
people get you already?
I didn't know that the game was you have to move to the different zones to get more points. I just thought you just catch and shoot. I'm just with the passing game, I've been slaughtering whoever steps near it, doing my no looks and all of that. So come holler at me. Let's have some fun, baby. Misfits, follow us. Mykell the PG on all the socials. Lam squared. Final words, man. Get us up out of here.
Yo, this is Mykell the PG. You will see his work on the Sporting Tribune, Culver City Observer, FI 360, Mr. MLB Bro himself. I'm your guy, Lam. You can catch my work on the Sporting Tribune, Culver City Observer, FI 360. No MLB Bro yet, but we are the Misfits, where we encourage you not to fit in, find a way to stand out. Until next week, we love you guys. Y'all be safe. Love one another.
New content is coming. Be ready.